Thank you very much, Hamish. It's brilliant to see everybody here. Hamish made the point we are the natural party of business, and I think that is a message we have some work to do to get across. Clearly, we're the party of Labour. It's a bit obvious. But I think the argument to make is how do we demonstrate that being the party of the worker is also means you are the party of business, because I look at it like this. If you have a high-skilled, high-wage economy, if you have a successful economy where people are earning lots of money, it means they've got more money to buy goods and services from businesses. And I think that is a case that we should make again and again. And you get that through strong trade unions in the economy. Don't take our word for it, take the word of the IMF, who make that case as well. And there is a symmetry to this. So richer workers mean richer communities, mean richer businesses, and it's something we have to work at. And I want the party to embrace and understand that. It's a big part of my job, is to ensure that right across the party we are advocating for closer ties with the business community. I think we've instinctively understood with smaller businesses and co-ops and with social enterprises that that's the case. But it's true for entrepreneurs from the private sector as well. Increasingly I find people in larger corporations who embrace our agenda, especially with younger people, but not exclusively, where they want to change the world in their private lives. They want to go to work and take part of an organisation as a meaningful mission as well. An organisation that's trying to do good in the world, not just grow shareholder wealth. And this is a really rich opportunity for us in a way that wasn't there just a few short years ago. And you only have to look at the engagement we're having from the business community at conference this year. I've just come away from the business forum that's going on this morning, where we've got representatives of businesses large and small from all sectors talking to us upstairs, giving us the evidence that we need to build on last year's brilliant manifesto, so that we've got the policies that will engage people in the private sector, not just in the public sector. It's very easy for some Labour Party to go out and talk to people about the health service or about education or about cuts in local authorities, and it's right that we do. It's very, very important that we advocate for working people who've seen their living standards decline, who've seen cuts of £800 a year, and if you're under 25 it's more like £2,000. It's very important that we advocate for people who are being sanctioned for their benefits or who are going to food banks. These are all incredibly important issues. But in order to do something about it, we've got to get into government. And to get into government, I would argue we need the support of the business community. So how do we go about doing that? I think we go about it by selling the excellent policies from the manifesto and that we're building on now to the business community as well as to each other. So what can we say to the business community to convince them? Well, I think it starts by listening. I spend a lot of my time, as Hamish suggested, talking to businesses around the country about why it matters that we support business. And by saying that actually government's role is to partner. Government's role is to create a level playing field. Government's role, well, Labour government's role anyway, is to make sure that businesses, large and small, can't be undercut when they want to do the right things by the likes of Sports Direct or Amazon paying poverty wages, by those firms using the gig economy to force people to be self-employed against their will so that they can avoid their obligations to pay sick and holiday pay, and by making sure that exploitation of workers and undercutting and achieving an unfair competitive advantage, which two sides of the same coin, are not allowed to flourish in an economy run by a Labour government. Now that is a very strong agenda for most business people, because most people, I meet in business, actually want to do the right thing. They want to pay properly, they want to be living wage, but more than living wage employers. They want diversity in their workforces. They want to pay their suppliers on time and not have this scandal we had with Carillion, where we saw 30,000 small businesses in the supply chain now owed £2 billion, which they will not see a penny of. And we can avoid that by having a Labour government, but it's got to be a Labour government with the right business policies to get in the first place. And I find that when I explain Labour's policies to the business community, I get a very good hearing. And when I say we're going to do something about late payment, or we're going to do something about business rates, or we're going to tackle the challenges that you face in getting government contracts by opening up procurement to smaller firms. These are all things that Labour can and will and should do in government, and they are all music to the ears of the business community, especially the SME community, that makes up 99.3% of our businesses in this country. And there's usually an SME for Labour banner saying yes, yeah, there it is, 99.3. I knew it'd be there somewhere without checking. You know, it's brilliant that we have the two organisations, SME for Labour and Labour Business, working together as key players in the party. I've noticed over the years that I've been working with you, Hamish, there's greater engagement from Labour Party members. I want to see that continuing, but I want you to go out and sell. And a big part of that is engaging in your CLPs, in making sure you have a business liaison officer. We have one in my CLP. I think there'd be something wrong with that.
I'd love to hear that.
I'm pleased we've got one here today. But please go out and do that. Sell to business. That on the whole, people who are running businesses, especially the smaller businesses, have the same value set as the Labour Party. It's their natural party. It's the party of government that will support them, that will work with them, that will deliver the conditions and opportunities, you know, things like our National Investment Bank, but regional opportunities to access finance, that will help businesses to start, that will help businesses to grow, that will deliver the prosperity that the people we represent need, and that will make a massive difference to this country. It's up to us to go out there and deliver that message. So please engage, please get involved, and if you're not already, make sure your CLP's got a BuLO. Thank you very much.